I'm on two computers. I'm on two
Oh,
computers. This one has the ability to work properly. This is my good camera, but the other computer has the ability to do screen sharing and show some of the results that we're doing as we unpack the targets. That's why there's two of me. Um, so Elena, firstly, thank you so much. You're somebody that values your privacy and your accessibility a lot, and you do a lot of work and a lot of good things. So for you to come out and be a guest here is really special, and I'm happy that you did that. And I'm happy this whole project that we worked on, the Koldasi project. Is that the name of the book?
Koldas,
Koldas.
Koldas.
So that's your
So
new book.
yeah, so I called it the Koldas project for the remote viewing. I
Uh,
found that cool. And yeah, I want ask Tony if I could tune in because I want to thank all of you who worked on the remote viewing on of that project. So I want to
uh,
thank personally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for
Welcome.
your
most of
work.
them, most of them don't know how well they did. So until it's
Yeah,
a 2 hour video it was 2 hours that we recorded to break down. And I'll do a
yeah.
screen share and we'll just clip through. I'm just going to skip through the recording and show some of the results. But I'll release the video that shows how, um, Eli, where are you at? You're new. So sorry, first day, Eli, you're coming in the deep end of the pool. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining. I'll get you squared away. If you could put your email in the chat, I'll get you an email with all the documents and everything you need, and you can email me back at any questions you might have.
Very good.
Um, Elena came to me. We did a remote viewing for JP. I've done a bunch of remote viewings that are out on YouTube, and Elena came and said, I have a great idea. Why don't you help me with this? The really neat thing is that it's kind of groundbreaking that we're remote viewing targets from a book. So it was a book being written. You gave me the questions, the targets, and then you gave them in a passage from the book that you were writing. And get your head around, so anybody that doesn't know, the targets were in another dimension. So when you can rack your brain about this all day long, but extra dimensional targets. And when you started showing me slides, so Elena and I met, and then I showed her literally all of your results. I went through the emails and showed the results. And because there were things that were in there that we have no idea if it's accurate or not. Remote viewing is abstract. Um, then she showed me illustrations that are from the book. She said, "This is the target. This is a picture of it." And so at first I thought maybe we were remote viewing the illustrations because that's possible. You can have illustrations in remote viewing, but there were other aspects that she said that the remote viewings had that were around the corner from the illustration or things that happened before or after the illustrations that kind of ruled that out. So we were actually remote viewing, and this is a great deal of overlapping evidence. Like I said, I'm going to wait. It's a 2 hour video. It'll get cut down to a 1.5, and it'll have the highlights. I'll show a little bit of it on the other computer for you guys to see kind of just the images, I think. And then if you guys want to go back through your own results. But this project was really, really good stuff. Elena, what are your thoughts on any of that? And then was there anything that stood out when I showed you the data? Um,
Uh, well, what stood up was that in most of the case, people remote viewed more than the target itself. So I gave you uh, a spot in that planet. So what I can comment is that I was taken to a planet in 2022 in a parallel dimension, and I gave Tony targets about some places, some spots on this planet, particular places. And what struck me was that not only there was a lot of corroborating remote viewing and crossing evidence, but most of the time you remote view larger than the place I asked Tony, I gave Tony. For instance, one target was, for instance, a village somewhere. People remote view the mountains around that were not described in the target and the cities beyond it. And so often, how do you get there? Because it was in another dimension, and I even didn't tell Tony about that. Some people remote view the Stargate to go there. And that was remarkable, remarkable. So I want to say that.
I got to say that I did one of the targets, the first target, and I went through. I haven't. The video that I got was poor. I need to get the copy from Adrian. Um, but I had a bit of front loading because I knew the target came from you, Elena. So there was some front loading there. So when I started seeing whirly energetics and somebody strapped in a chair in a craft moving quickly, I'm thinking this is front loading. But it was also corroborative when you showed the base, was it Neptune?
Yeah,
When you showed the illustration, it was exactly like what I was sensing. A long hallway, a place where the craft landed, a long hallway, and then a big atrium that opened up.
yeah.
And it was corroborating. So this is a neat project. I don't think that targeting like this happens very often in remote viewing, right? Um, so it was a very unique project and it gave us some real insight as to the capabilities of remote viewing. The other thing that I theorized from this is that we may be getting, sometimes we think they're complete ricochets. Sometimes we remote view targets and we think we're completely off the target, when in reality, you could be exactly at the target talking about something that's relevant to the target in a dimension at the same place, like in a phased state. So there may be other aspects of information that the remote viewer sees, the spectrum that the remote viewer sees that we don't see when we're just looking at a regular target. Like we randomly do places in the world, and then we get underground alien bases constantly. So and then it's everybody does it at once too. So it's not like it happens in every single target. It happens at this target. Everybody got an alien base, and we're just looking at Starbucks. So it happens. So it kind of helps out the physics of it all because I'm always about the science of what's going on. It has to be repeatable and it has to have some kind of science to it. When do you think your book's going to be released, Elena? Because
Uh, I nearly finished the illustration, so as soon as I've written the last paragraph about the remote viewing, I put it up on Amazon. So maybe not before, not later, I mean, than a month. Because what I offer to do is I want to write about this remote viewing experience project, and I want to mention, if you are okay with that, the names of the people who participate in this project, the remote viewers. And if you're okay with that, whoever is okay, just to honor the work. And also, what I want to do is, as I will click on publish on Amazon, I want to, I'll give Tony, I'll give it in advance a PDF of the book once it's complete. And Tony, you can offer this PDF to all the persons who participate in this remote viewing. Then you can see it by yourself.
that'll be great. And hopefully I'll be done editing that monster interview that we did. I'm looking forward to reading it. So I can't wait to get a copy. It's and then the illustrations, I'm going to show you guys in a weird way. Some of the illustrations. Half of the people I think that were involved, and then a lot of the other people were in the 3 o'clock group, and that's why I'm recording this so that I can share with them later. I'll post this to Patreon, people can see. But yeah, it's a fun project, a lot of good data in there, and a very unique circumstance that I don't think anybody else has ever had as far as a remote viewing targets. So somebody that's been to space and then slipped through a portal to a parallel dimension and spent a month on another world with another species traveling and having your ship break down and being stuck in the jungle. We even had that. We even remote viewed that whole story.
Yeah, I didn't talk in the targets I gave you, Tony, in the documents. I know, no moment I mentioned the shuttle crash and the rescue, and somebody saw there was a rescue. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was interesting part of it, and it kind of leaves Elena. It lets us take a peek into uh, spacefaring cultures. That not everything runs perfectly. that, like they still have stuff break down. They're still beholden to the same rules we are. Sometimes you get a flat tire. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a neat it's kind of a neat episode to watch. Like we caught that and then you afterwards. And the remote view, there were actually the place you went afterwards was
Yeah.
an accurate target. We got a lot of good data on that target. When the shuttle went down, you were rescued or picked up and then went and had to wait for a while at a
Oh,
place.
yeah.
That target gave a great deal of data. So
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
let me queue up a screen share and I'm just going to skip through. So I still have it in the editor. You guys just bear with me. I have it in the editor and I'm going to skip through and I wrote down some timestamps of some of the images. So rather than open up your guys' data, because there's 7 targets total, there's 5 of them that we all did, and go through everybody's individual data. That's what we did in the interview. And so that'll get edited and I'll post it on Patreon and on YouTube for you guys can watch at your leisure if you're interested. But this one, I just want to skip through and show you guys some of the stuff. The tree, Justin is in the 3 o'clock group, and he was when we went over the data, he said, "Man, I don't know. I just keep seeing a tree with these big balls." There's Ari. Ari had some stuff in there, and
Yeah.
it's just really neat to see.
See, I wrote Elena Danaan when I saw
Yes,
the
Oh,
target.
are you the guy who did the
yes,
target for?
yes.
You
I don't know
who well,
which target
I
it
mean
is.
there's somebody, Tony, who found out my name. That's you.
That's that one.
Yeah, that's
Ari.
me.
Harry Cleans. Oh my gosh.
I sent
And I
that one
will
to you
be at
originally.
JSIC.
You will be at Jessica, you said?
I will be at JSIC UK, but I put the
Oh,
email in the wrong way. It was like .com .coma. I don't know where the extra comma came from, but I didn't receive the instructions to get there, and I tried to contact the team to get the instructions. But I will rent the place, and anyway, I will be there.
We'll get you
okay,
sorted out,
great.
Ari.
Oh, great to meet
Yeah,
you.
nice
Well
to
done,
meet
you.
you.
Huh? I was
Well,
so impressed. Oh,
I'm
good.
eager
Yeah.
to know all of you. You are like inspiring for me, and thank
Yeah.
you for the targets and the emotions and the feelings that the remote viewing the targets give us. It's really, really nice. Thank you so much.
Well,
Okay, Tony, that
I
tree
just
with the balls, go on because
yeah.
that really blew my mind.
I was saying I'm enjoying just sitting here watching this. So okay, yeah. Let me set this up on this computer. Okay, here's the bad camera. Go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
There's some echo.
Yeah. Yeah. How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Sorry, the 2 computer gig has got it. So there's a camera coming in the mail for this. So it's on its way from Amazon, the replacement. Um, so here's the target package. These are the targets that we had. I did this one originally, and Adrian did this one, and these were in VR. 3 and then 4 is the one that Elena that Ari got and literally said Elena Danaan in the viewing. So this is in the player. The Zoom thing is in the way. I think the first one is at 42. So this one, a
And the
lot of people
drawings. Oh my
a lot
gosh.
of people queued up on the environment, the dryness, the heat. This is you. This is Elena, could you tell us where this is?
So this is in a desertic place, in a wadi, a valley in the desert, and we arrive in a kind of cavern, a cavity in the rocks, but the ceiling has collapsed, so you can see a bit of the sky, and there are very ancient paintings on the walls that feature ancient aliens arriving on this world. So you have weird aliens, and you have a portal gate on the top and spinning gate, and you have spaceships with little windows as well. And and this pyramidal shape with I'm not sure what it is, but it was there, and all the time it's like something coming from a portal. Um, that's there. People saw that as well.
A
But
lot of people,
yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt, a lot of people drew this shape, these ships with it said, some people said it looked like a submarine. This
yeah,
shape was prevalent in the remote viewing. And then a circle with a triangle, that was prevalent. Like that came out in a lot of them.
wow.
Sorry, I hope my share screen's going good here. There's the Koldas. Is that right?
Yes. The Koldas Sea. Koldas is the name of the planet, and the Koldas Sea are the people.
So, and that in my remote viewing, I described them a short 4 foot green with something on their head with big eyes. I thought it was like their eyeballs on a
Yeah.
thing. But that was in my original one. Let's see. I'm just skimming through. There's the tree. You would tell us about this. Are those balls full of water?
Yes, yes. They are. It's a tree. They are like sponges, and there is underground water, and the tree is pumping it and storing it in these bowls. So they are like reservoirs of natural reservoir of water. It's like kind of fruits of that the tree produces. So, and when you go near the tree, near the trunk, you can hear the rushing of the waters coming in through the trunks, the branches, under the bark. You can actually hear the water. Incredible.
So a tree was prevalent, and like I said, Justin actually drew a tree with giant balls on it, like this. He actually kind of drew it. I think it was the target, porous material like sponge or coral, bubbles inside, special liquid blue, wooden natural fragrance.
Yeah.
So we were hitting the target, and a group of being, let's see, so that was at 43, I believe, 46, 106.
That that one looked like my handwriting.
uh, when I'm done with the edit, we'll give everybody, and like I said, I want to get everybody's permission because when I show
Of course.
when I show the email, it's got everything in there, so I have to bleep that out. It's going to take a minute. So this is your Elena. Do you want to tell us what happened here?
Yes, we were transiting from from the desertic place to a city, floating city, but we flew over a jungle and the shuttle crashed in the jungle. So for technical problems. And so we stayed a few days in the jungle, living in the shuttle, and then we were rescued by other Koldasi people, and we were brought to a village in the jungle. And that's the village where the houses were half in the cliff. Oh, it has so many information. So that's what happened there. And I didn't mention the rescue to Tony, and I pulled out the illustration when he said, "Oh, someone mentioned a rescue." I went, "Oh my gosh, that's the village."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have the huts like this, and it's not in the illustration, but you have a part that is half carved in the cliff, like underground houses in the cliff as well.
We went into, I think there's a couple more some of this info. Through all this. Let's check my timestamp where I'm at.
And to
I think
come
there's
to this
one.
village, you have to pass under a waterfall. So you have the sound of the water that's very loud. That's not that's the last, no, that's the target 6.
Yes. Let me look.
The village is the village in the jungle is the target 4.
That was for these
Yeah,
shapes kept coming up in the target. In the viewings, we were getting these shapes and the waterfall. So that
yeah.
was the dominant thing that was being described as a huge water feature. And then people were getting this round. Some people had overlay like it was a craft, But when we looked at the target and looked at the info, it was clearly these huts that it was. Uh, where is this? 107. And then I forget what's on 106. I'm just trying to get through the images. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So you were rescued there, and then that was target 4. Yeah, and I guess the next image that I have queued up is the city.
So there are 2 floating cities. The first one, they look alike. Oh, the pyramid. Yeah. The pyramid at the end, you see the pyramid, it was target 6. And when I show you the drawing, you understood because there's a mountain on the top of this floating city, and it looks like a pointy pyramid stuff.
This particular target, everybody got a pyramid shape. We got the overall shape, and everybody described cold, like it was really freezing cold there,
Yeah,
and people that were in heavy winter gear and snow
yep,
covered.
that's
So
it. That's it.
that
That's it.
that was in pretty much every viewing. So we got a major part of it. When I look at the data,
The big birds as well. People saw big
an
birds.
abandoned alien city, a big floating rock with a mountain in the middle is hovering above a valley with forests. It's very cold there and there's a bit of snow. I'm not sure exactly how I worded the target, but that was our target. I don't know how many other. I think that's it for images that I've got. Elena,
Yes, I think so. That was the last one.
went through some of these later viewings. Yeah, that was it. Stop the share. I'm going to get to a. Okay.
Oh,
Can you
echo.
hear me?
No, it's okay.
A
Yeah.
little bit? All right. Now I can hear you too. So this is new for me, switching computers in the mid meeting, but got through it. Do you guys? I'm not paying attention to the chat. Do you guys have any quick questions while we have Elena here? Um, anything, Elena, if that's okay?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't keep it. We got a lot of stuff to cover today too. So today is also large environment down is an exercise we do for this coming week, and we have a bunch of new people that I got to bring up to speed. But go ahead, Crystal.
I just wanted to say it's really an honor, and that was so much fun doing those targets. And Tony, this is like a whole family thing for me at this point. You met my husband last year, and even my kids, like when I read the reveal and I was looking at, I had the waterfall and I was like, oh my gosh, this
Mhm.
is Elena's. And it was just so exciting. So like the whole family heard about it, and it's an honor. So thank you very much for all of that.
Oh, thank you for accepting, to working on it. That's so exciting.
Yeah, I
Thank you
figured
for
a
being
treat.
all so good. My God.
Ari.
Hi. Yeah, I was curious. First of all, it's an honor to just be in the same call with Elena and you. And I always tell you that it's like I never even thought that one day I would even talk to you. But
Oh,
well, it's happening. So, and I was practically thrown, like forced to start remote viewing because everybody always told me that I had like high psychic abilities, and a lot of things that go wrong in my life is because I'm not using them. So I was practically forced by my higher self to start the remote viewing, and I'm glad I did because I think that remote viewing is opening a lot of gates for me and connect me with a lot of different things. I was curious about a monitored session that I did with Tony about one of the targets, and I saw an octopus looking person, and it was like a bluish, bluish color. It changes color. It was like a transparent, white, bluish color, like ethereal kind of being, but very majestic, very peaceful, and you just feel love from it. How
yeah.
how do you describe it? What is?
You just described the Koldas Sea. They are, it depends on the planet, they have different colors. Most, they are like between, a range between green to blue in between. So you can find all these colors. They all have big, round, black eyes with a little bit of color sometime in it. And they have tentacles on their head.
Yeah, that's
All of
what I
them.
saw.
That's their race.
I
Yeah.
was I was like, okay, I was Tony, is this right? Am I saying right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and then we were in a
It-
monitored session. I said, just write it down, just keep going, and you came up with octopus ten. And at the time, I really didn't know the description either. To be fair, it
yeah, it
wasn't.
was like you were asking me for there was people there inside the place. So I'm like, yeah, I see like a octopus kind of people, and a female and a male subjects. They were talking in a corridor, walking back into the space where the octopus looking being was. So that was the experience.
Wow. I'm very impressed.
So
Wow.
the other thing is that I have to get you guys back on some earthly targets because it's very easy in a remote viewing to get ETs and spaceships from rough shapes. A lot of people do it, and so I'd like to keep people on targets that are places or small items or things that are pretty mundane, so that I want you to expect the unexpected targets. And this whole series where we went through was just I started looking at the data and I thought, here we go, here's another one. You know, it's another space thing. There's another ET. There's a ship, and so, but we were hitting the data. It was correct. It was great, great remote viewing. Joseph,
Hi, I have a quick question. I'm Joseph. I'm new, and I just want to know if we'll have another opportunity, maybe in a few months or something, because it's one of the most fascinating results I've seen in remote viewing. It's just so amazing.
I'm full of potential targets to suggest. So, Tony, just ask.
thanks, thank you. So, and we definitely will. So, I think the more that I put out on the remote viewing collective, the more people are interested to have. I've been contacted by people such as Elena, who got ushered to the front, understandably, but I get contacted by people to remote view things all the time. Um, The idea is that I don't give targets to you guys that could be somehow dangerous or see something that you don't want to see. Like I would never do a target that's a war zone or some kind of material that is would be difficult to see. I like to keep it PG. And so they will come. They will come. The idea is that you guys never formulate what the target might be before you begin. It could be an amoeba, a ladybug, a worm, a house, a mountain, a planet, a nebula. It could be anything in between, all things in between. So, the being open-minded and not front-loaded with data is the one of the essential things to remote viewing. So, this one is who saw any of this coming, right? So this was along those lines. You guys didn't know we were doing, the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty and sports games and stuff. And then we had Elena's book. And I think it's really a great study piece when we talk about remote viewing in general. So anybody else? I don't want to keep you too long, Elena. Anybody else have anything you'd like to comment? David?
Can I,
What? I'll
Yeah.
get you next,
Oh,
Ari.
was someone else in the group wanted to say something?
Oh, go ahead, David.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not in this group. Tony invited me because he knows that I'm a big supporter of Elena. I was in Elena's original Patreon group a million years ago. We chatted at G6. Yeah,
Yes, that's you. I
yeah,
remember now.
right.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're
So,
very far in the picture, so I see your face now. Yes.
yeah. So, but I want to congratulate this group and Tony for an amazing job here. I'm jealous because I'm in a different Tony group and I haven't been doing remote viewing for a while now. I used to do it, but I'm on a project. I don't have time for it, and I'm thinking I really should get back to it because this was awesome. So congratulations to all of you, and then and to Elena. congratulations to you for all the spectacular things you've been doing, but mostly for staying strong in the face of attacks on you and the work you're doing. And God bless you. Keep doing it, and congratulations on a great job and standing up against, staying strong during all these attacks.
Great.
Thank you. That means a lot, David. That means a lot. You know, every time I hear people saying that to me, it gives me strength to carry on. And so I really appreciate. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
You're
You know,
welcome. And can I just throw in an off-topic question for Elena, and if you want to answer? It's every time I see Elon Musk say, "Oh, he don't think they're really aliens. He would know," and totally denies the alien thing. I always think about what you said, Elena, about his involvement. So, why do you think he's doing all this denying?
He's protecting himself because all the boots on the ground, the aliens on Earth are still potential targets, and if they confess publicly they are not from here, they are killed. So you know, when I met this lady from Alpha Centauri, she was looking around her all the time as we were in that cafe. So they are. Yeah, that's what he does, protects
Okay.
himself. at the moment.
Thank you again, Elena, for all that you do. Congratulations, and congratulations to the group. Fantastic job.
Thank you, David.
Ari, you had something you wanted to ask.
Oh, you want to take us from aliens and all this stuff? Can you at least keep the arcs? Because those targets, you know what happened. I have the tendency to go inside, and those experiences make me shift my frequency and raise consciousness quicker. I would say that.
So what
So the connection.
I would say that those are more of an advanced target. So not what we do in the alpha group. So this group is an introductory to remote viewing, the basics. I like to have you guys remote viewing a grapefruit on a table somewhere or a park bench in Central Park. Like those are the targets that I want alpha group to do. When you get into arcs and things that can actually touch your soul and make a lifelong impression on you when you start to, because you do, there is an energetic mingling. If we remote view a person, you know, it's as if you know them in a certain way. It's a different medium, but there is an energetic mingling, and there's a whole protocol about that we don't worry about. So I like to do inanimate objects for the most part. But Ari, stick around. In some of the other groups, we're going to get back to the ARC subject. It's a hot subject these days, especially with future forecasters coming out doing one recently with Dr. Sala. I was really happy to see those guys. It's like a crossover in information for Dick Allgaier and Dr. Sala to work together, and we're slowly going to get into that stuff as more and more of this becomes mainstream. We're going to get a lot of crossover stuff like that. So yeah, we're always going to be. We do a lot of remote. You guys don't know this in the groups. I put out 2 targets for you guys, and I catch flack. Like, hey man, it's Wednesday. Where's the second target? Like, I'm putting out targets every day. There's a lot of groups and a lot of individuals that remote view during a week. I do go through a lot of data a week nowadays. It's a big chunk of my life. So the targets are there. So as you guys, I like to give you guys a ladder to climb, because when you get there, it builds your confidence so much. When I say now you're done with the alpha group, you graduate because you made it. The remote viewing scores go up because you achieved something. And I'm giving away a secret right to your face. But the idea that you graduate and say, I made it this far, I'm good at it, that reinforcement makes you a better remote viewer. It's all, if you believe you can't remote view, you can't. And if you believe that you're a great remote viewer, you will be a great remote viewer. It's that simple. And so that's why I like to give increments to climb up. Elena, that's all I got. I'm going to cover, if you want to go. I know it's late there. What time is it there?
It's nearly 7. What time is it?
7 p.m. It's
Oh,
not
it's
late.
6:30. It's fine.
6:30. See, early.
Yeah.
Well, you're free to stick around. I want to go into this week's targets and the
Okay.
lesson for what we're going to work on.
Well, listen, I'm going because you're going to work on different topics now, so I'm going to go, and I want to thank again all of you, and I'll give you a free PDF of the book, then you can really read and see the illustration for yourself, and even see what corresponds to what you personally remote viewed. So that's gonna be cool. So and I look forward to hear about it.
Okay. Well,
Thank you so much.
we love you, Elena. Thank you so much for doing this and for helping out. So this has really been a great pleasure for all of us, an honor to be part of this book.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much. The honor is mine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Good
Bye-bye.
night. Okay, I'm going to switch back to my junkie camera now and quit recording, and we can get into what we're doing today.